Okay, good morning, good evening, global Atomians, wherever you are. Once again, we are joining the Atomy International Business Class with the global leaders. How are you all today? We're all good, right? We can't wait to hear from another global leader sharing tonight. So, all global Atomian, I just want to emphasize one more time. Make sure the Zoom name requirement follow the guide. So it should be the country code, the full name, the mastership or the dealership, and then this is the most important thing is the speaker who invites you into the meeting. So if I'm seeing 6 or 7 members still in the waiting room, not being admitted, not because we don't want to, because they didn't follow the proper Zoom naming, please inform them. And we also have the YouTube live. It's unlisted link. So if you see on the top, if you're on the computer, if you see on the bottom, there's a live on YouTube. You can also share that to the link when we reach 300 people, because we have a maximum capacity of 300 people tonight. Thank you for joining. And we're gonna watch a short video from our amazing Atomy company, and let's find out who our company is once.
One, zero.
Hello, Atomy members worldwide. My name is Hangel Pa, and I will be in charge of the safe operation of the AWSS. Use of all electronic devices are allowed during the flight, including cell phones and tablet PCs for your convenience. We will do our best to make flight AWSS a shortcut to success. Have a pleasant flight.
A company that keeps the principles and creates a new distribution culture. A company that grows from the trust of its global customers. A company that cherishes the spirit and embodies love and sharing. A company that goes for customer success beyond customer satisfaction. We are Proud Atomy. After establishing its headquarters in South Korea in 2009, Atomy has opened branches in 20 countries around the world. Based on its unique core values, and has reached the mark of 15 million members globally, and is connecting the world as a market. With the philosophy of absolute quality and absolute pricing, we have achieved 0% refunds for 10 years. Hemohim only was sold over 1 trillion Korean won worldwide. 4,970 global seminars were held for our customer success. 4,260 global centers were opened for our aspiring members. Ranked as top 10 companies with high growth rate through continuous sales growth every year. With an unlimited potential in the global market, global sales exceeded 1.9 trillion Korean won in 2020. And we are preparing for a bigger leap forward through various global markets. Based on Atomy's management strategy that puts honesty and goodwill above all else, and the philosophy of absolute quality and absolute price that no one can follow, we are practicing our absolute goal of realizing our customers' success. And we are having a good influence on all the places where sharing is needed, so that all members of society can live a better life through principle-centered, mutual growth, and sharing culture. Atomy promises to lead the global market and moves on to a bigger stage with you through the success of our customers.
구독, 좋아요 눌러주세요.
Okay, I'm always excited when I watch the video, even though it's short, like 3 minutes, but it's always inspire me more and more with the Atomy. So we're gonna chant out, I'm not gonna unmute everyone, we just open your video if you want, then we can all shout out through our lungs and shout the best we can to this company motto. I think this is the best motto that I've ever found in the world. Okay, everyone ready? Company motto: cherish the spirit, create the vision, follow the faith, serve in humility. Aja, aja, aja. Thank you very much, everyone. So I'm going to read it out our business class commitment, so it will remind us every time when we join this class. So there are commitments in this class. So you agree to attend every week's class. Failing to attend each class, I understand that I may not be admitted to the next classes. Second, I must join on time. Late admission may not be admitted into the Zoom. Third, I must have undivided attention. I will refrain from any cooking, laying down, and other personal activities. Fourth, I must focus and learn as much as possible to become a successful Atomy business owner. And we also have a Zoom etiquette. The first one is the Zoom name requirement. It has to follow the country code, full name, mastership or dealership, and then the speaker who invites you. Not the speaker who's gonna speak tonight, but who the speaker or the leader who invites you in this meeting. And the second one is be on time. Third one is turn on the camera whenever it's possible. Fourth, dress appropriately. Fifth, stay seated with undivided attention. Six, mute your microphone when you're not speaking. And this business class is happening every Wednesday, so you're gonna see all the time zone because we have so many global leaders attending and also global Atomians. So just convert your time zone to our time, and the Zoom code is always the same. So we do not change our Zoom code, but the password, it changes every week. It is a closed Zoom session. It means only people who have the link or being invited by one of our speakers or by one of your center leaders. But make sure you add the speaker name or a leader that you personally know or you know it from your center leader at the end of the Zoom name for the admission. So the first week we started with our global leader Diamond Master Ju Armstrong. She delivered the company introduction on the 15th of September. Next after that is Star Master Rebecca Wong. It was happening on September 22nd. And on the 29th of September last time, another global leader from USA, Sharon Rose Master Israel Kim. And I did my presentation last week. It's the 8 Steps to Success. And tonight or today, it'll be another global leader from Canada, Sharon Rose Master Essie Lee. She will share about the daily 8 core habits. And next week after that, we will have global leader from Malaysia, Sharon Rose Master Jessica Kapun. She will share about the auto sales master. And on the 27th of October, our another global leaders from USA, Sharon Rose Master Sherry Lee, will share about the life scenario. And in November the 3rd, it will be global leader from Singapore, Sharon Rose Master James Chang. And we will close with Royal Master Jason Shim from USA. He will share about the duplication. This will close our business class. So stay tuned. We still have another 5 weeks to go, but make sure you invite all your members, all your partners, so they can all grow with this business in Atomy. So without further ado, I will welcome and I will call our global leader, Essie Lee from Canada. She will share about the daily 8 core habits. Welcome, Essie Lee. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm going through every page to see those with videos on so I can take a good look at you because we're on Zoom, but this gathering is very special. How do I go to the gallery view? Hello, wow. From Indonesia,
Let's give a heart.
Malaysia,
Let's
Canada.
make a movement. Make sure our global leaders
Yeah, I'm
seeing it,
looking at
right?
every single page and I remember all of you because this is very, very special for me. Oh, lots of hearts. Yes, wonderful. Just the fact that we are in this Zoom together, I know it's our destiny. And Atomy is everywhere, but those who gather together again and again and again, that, it doesn't happen very often. You have to have similar pattern in your heart to gather together. And I think Mike, he came up with this idea a few months ago, and I said, that's an amazing idea, but I don't know how it's going to play out. And we have Drew Armstrong, the leaders that you saw there. We have a chat room, and I'm not able to participate, but this room is awesome because we all come from different teams. And as you know, there's certain protocols that we have to follow because we come from different teams, but the energy that we get, like how on earth would I have friends in Australia? I see Sandra, Haney, Gwendoline from Malaysia. Oh my goodness. When we meet, and I'm in Canada, maybe about 15 kilometers up from Toronto. So you have a friend in Canada. And the whole point here is that we have the same dreams and we're looking at the same direction and we're going forward, onward and upward. So if I can be of any assistance today to help you remind yourself why you started Atomy, or you can relight the fire that you had maybe last year, maybe 5 years ago, it could be 10 years ago. We all understand that this opportunity is like none another. Then how do I go about it? So hopefully I have prepared a little something today. But before we go on, I know there's almost 240 people here, and I like to stay, I'm trying this out. So there's a chat room, there's a chat button at the bottom. And even if you can't talk, you can probably type there. I don't know why I can't open up the chat room. Mike. So what we can do.
Yeah, you can click at the bottom, Essie, chat. I think there's a chat
I'm
button
clicked
there.
on it and it's not seeing it.
Or you go to the participant window and then under there, there's more or chat over there.
So what we would like to do is, for example, if you're here for the first time, actually, I can see the real-time chat, that's fine. If you're here for the first time, type 1 and enter right now. If you're here for the first time, so we're kind of talking to each other this way, right? If you're here for the first time, type 1 and enter. Let me see. Is it happening?
Yeah, that's a couple coming.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting used to this. Oh, I see. Okay. This way I know you're not sleeping and you feel you're totally part of this. So there's some newcomers, welcome. In case you don't know what this is all about, I know you have sponsors, the people who invited you over. We're talking about this community called Atomy. We're talking about this opportunity called Atomy. And today I was asked to speak on the 8 core habits. It's just a practical part of execution of this business. Hi, Barney. Nice to see you here. But before we just jump right into the business part, even though this is business lecture, since there's first-time comers, I just like to introduce myself a little bit. I get mistaken all the time as an employee of Atomy Canada, 100%. So if you used to come to one-day seminars, Success Academy, the hotel seminars, I used to get asked questions. Where's a bathroom? When does this start? Where's a program? Because I am Korean and this is a Korean company. And it seems like I could pass very well as an employee of Atomy Canada. But just so you know that I am a member. I am not an employee. I am a member, just like yourselves. I have my ID number. I'm a distributor. So what I'd like to make it very clear is that before we even go to any other steps, we have to be very clear of your job description when you're here. So even if you're first time, you know you're here because, sorry, is this your real skin complexion? I have, just to answer that question, I have a Atomy cushion on. So no, I am not barefaced. Sorry, Kimberly, I wish, but I have a bit of Atomy cushion, I will tell you. But thank you, I'll take that as a compliment. So this is all about what happened to my skin, what happened to my finances. It's all got to do with Atomy. as a distributor. We're here because we distribute Atomy products. We're not employees of Atomy Canada. So if you're first time here, at least you know that I don't need to really sell you any ideas. I don't need to convince anybody to be doing anything, because I'm just another distributor who may have started a little bit before you or a little bit after you. And I had those questions before I spent any time on this opportunity. And I did vigorous researches. It's actually very last week of December, I think 2013, my family member approached me and said, I have a friend who started this business in Korean cosmetics, and I'd like you to just go help her out. And then I met her in 2014, and I just wanted to buy some products from her just to support her. And she said, hey, do you know you can get a lot of cash back on this? But she had just joined 2 weeks ago. She gave me a wrong website address. She was so new, and she had only joined her sister. I was the second person that she ever spoken to. And I said, really? Cashback like Costco? And she said, just like Costco, but you don't have to pay a membership. I said, I don't know. And I was very busy trying to get back to my real estate business. I have two girls. They're both teenagers, but well, one's not quite, but she's acting like one. When I ran into it, I was busy. I was trying to go back to my full-time job as a real estate agent, which I did practice for almost 11 to 12 years. Well, I sold mortgages a couple of years before that. So I had no intention of doing anything to do with cosmetics. I was literally just there to buy a few things. And when she said, just try the products, and if you like it, then you should look into it. And I said, okay, I just need a foam cleanser, and I need maybe an eye cream. And I'm going to try a lotion. So I really just wanted three things. And when she showed me that evening care 4 set, I said, that's too many bottles for me. I don't even need that much. I'm a simple girl. She said, no, foam cleanser is actually not enough. You need a deep cleanser. And I'm now paying attention to her because she had really great skin. And she said, you need something to get rid of your makeup, your foundation, or your cushion foundation and sunscreen before you hit foam cleanser. I'm like, oh, really? And she went on to peeling gel. You got to do the exfoliation at least once a week if you do rejuvenate your skin. And peel off mask is just to really firm up your skin without getting anything surgically done. Now I'm thinking, wow, and I'm going to spend like $100 on this box because that looks pretty nice. Not that I needed anything else. She's like, you really need this? I said, all right, what's the damage? She said, $70 Canadian. And I said, that's not bad. But she said, if you get your own account, which is completely free, then it's $40. And that was the very and only reason I got myself an account. I said, okay, I trust her. I know her for many, many years. That was the only reason. Well, she wouldn't do me bad. And she knows all my family. She would not trick me into anything. And I'm like, okay, so now I need an eye cream and a lotion. And she presents me now the Fame. Back then it was called Skincare System. Does anybody remember? If you're smiling, you're oldies like me. So back in the days before the Fame time, it's the original version of the Fame, by the way. And again, she showed me 6 bottles. I'm like, no. I only use maybe 2 or 3. I don't have time. I have small children and I can't do this. She said, and then she went on, but very genuinely, toner is the very last step of cleansing. It's not even the skincare that you put on. You need the toner to balance out what's been broken in the pH level. Now my ears are getting bigger and bigger. And she said, of course, you need the lotion. You need the eye cream. You're over 25, right? I'm like, of course. You definitely need to start now. And it will pay off. As soon as you hit 45, 55, you'll be very thankful. And she's not really selling it, but I'm just listening to her as a friend, So toner, lotion, eye cream, also essence, and she talks about all these 4 technologies. But it was all inaccurate now that I think about it, but it was just really fun to hear her. And I said, well, I don't know if I can afford the whole thing today. I just don't have that much in my budget today. And she said it was $105 US, Canadian. And I said, no way. I go to like CVS in the United States or Shoppers Drug Mart or Boots in the UK. You go there, you pick up something, it's easily $20, $30 a bottle, right? Something that my teenager would use, usually like that. And she said, it's the whole box is $105. So in my head, I'm thinking, all right, I was going to spend something maybe close to it for those 2 things, because eye cream, my very first member that joined my lineage, she works, I cannot mention the name. She works for a very big, prestigious, high-end cosmetic company. She's a chemist. And she gives me sometimes, because she was a very nice person, sometimes she'll bless me with her samples. They're not supposed to. And this brand, I can't say what it is. It's expensive, beautiful eye cream, and 5 milliliter sample. She would give me like a couple. I'm like, yes. And I used like this little much. Why? The actual product of 15 mil eye cream would be $250 Canadian plus taxes. In Canada, where I live, is 13% taxes. So what is 5 mil? Easily $80, $90, right? So I'm using it like little, I don't know, like a grain of rice. And I'm counting $5, $10, $15, use very little bit. It was beautiful, delicious. So when it came to icon, like maybe I'll spend about $100 for like mediocre thing, right? So when I paid $100 for the whole set, ladies and gents, I had no expectation. I said, okay, you know what? I'll try it out. And I brought it out and I was shaking my essence. I clearly remember I heard plastic. Honestly, if I break out or something, I wouldn't even tell my friend because I don't want to hurt her feelings. I'll just put it on the rest of my body somewhere, on my arms, on my elbow, no expectation. But the very reason I'm here today is that night. So I put away my children to sleep. I locked my bathroom door so nobody can bother me. And I gave myself a treat. I had a long day, 15 rides, packing lunches, doing this, doing that, trying to get back to my real estate work. I had a lot on my plate. So I'm like, let me give myself a treat. So I gave myself the 4 set and minus the BB cream that used to be there. So I did the whole 4 set plus the 5 set from the 6 set, and I go to bed. And I wake up very early in the morning and I felt my face. And I remember I jumped out of my bed because I literally said something is dripping from my roof because I felt wet. If you felt my face now, it feels wet. Before, that never happened to me. I live in Canada. I used to live in Korea. In Korea, it's usually in floor heating. You know, everyone's sitting down and it's roasting and it's nice. But in Canada, it's forced air, means there's gushing of air coming out to heat the room, and I hate it. Why? One of the most famous actress in Korea, she said it on TV, and all the Korean girls know this. If you love your skin, when you're driving in your car, you never let the AC or heater hit your face. She said it's like taking a bite out of your skin and giving it to the AC. The forced air is really, really, really damaging. It takes a toll. It's drying up your skin. Just imagine like a wet towel and you're blowing air to it, it will dry. Same thing. So the forced air got me so dry, even if I used all the Lancome, Estee Lauder, Shiseido at the night of like winter nights in Canada. Sometimes we go with minus 30, 40, gushing wind and snow. I have to put on Vaseline sometimes because I feel like it's cracking. So that morning, I woke up, my face felt moisturized, and I never had experienced that in my whole life. in my short 28 years of life. So what do? I wait till 9 a.m. and I called my friend. What's in this thing? Is it like a steroid? What is in this product? It looks weird and so basic. What's in it? I knew when it was cheap. I was angry. She said, Essie, just go on and download these apps. There's a lot of apps in Korean platform that you can check the products. And it tells you what's everything's in it. All the things that are flagged. I looked in it. I'm like, okay. I looked in it. I'm like, well, there's some stuff in it. It's not completely organic. I go to my chemist friend and she said, Essie, there's nothing in the world that can stay organic for more than 2 or 3 days. Thank you. Yes. Type 1 and press enter if you know what that is. Come on, don't act like you're newbie. You know this one, right? Thank you, comrades. Yes, we all know. Thank you so much. That bottle got me into this totally. Just so my chemist friend said, there's nothing. Imagine you cook up a bowl of spaghetti, right? What can you do? What can you do to make that spaghetti last for 3 years? Tell me. Does anybody know? Robert from Malaysia? Anybody? Daphne, Malaysia? There's nothing organically you can do to get that going. So if you're thinking about skincare to go on your skin, and after it's manufactured for 2 years, 3 years, it's better unless you have never consumed anything with nothing. Like, have you ever had McDonald's, a chicken nugget, or anything bought from outside? Have you ever eaten out? That's probably got more preservative than the whole preservative in the whole box. So she said, just a little tiny bit that you can't even see. Make sure that your cosmetics is stable. It doesn't go bad. 2 years, 3 years, it's totally worth it. So that I got that off mind. That is not the direction that Atomy goes for, but the ingredients and the patents and technologies are completely top-notch and organic driven and naturally driven, right? So thank you for that. So why am I talking about all this before 8 cores? Because you need to know why you're doing this. Why are you going to do 8 cores? For what? Nobody pays you to do it. Nobody pays you to do anything here. So that product got me going. So thank you. I do have Atomy cushion, which I love. Sunscreen and cushion, that's it. I don't have anything else. I have a bit of makeup, of course, because you might not recognize me on the street if I don't have any makeup. But I talk about this lady all the time. That was many years ago, right? And then I thought, okay, I can definitely sell this. I have no concept of multi-level direct sell, nothing. But I had my online shopping mall getting kind of developed because I had my friend who had a cell phone accessory business and he wanted me to sell things in Canada. I absolutely miserably failed. Never wanted to do it again, but just I learned that Korean products are too expensive to buy at cost. I could not compete with big stores that can buy in bulk because I got all my cash to do that business. I broke even, I was out. So when I saw this $100 skincare, $40 spa or home care that's made in Korea with Komar manufacturing it, I got goosebumps. I'm like, no, it's not possible. It's not possible. That's why I got talking. But then again, since I had no idea, it wasn't until maybe 2015. So 2015, until then, I'm just like kind of sharing it with just a few of my friends, having fun, gone back to real estate. And then 2015, I had 4 people texting me that morning and I'm showing homes. I used to be a realtor. So I have people in my car. We're looking at houses for this sweet, cute, so much in love, first-time home buyers in Markham, Ontario. And I get 4 messages saying, ooh, Essie, I'm really sorry, but may I ask you where you got that toothbrush that you gave me just the other day? Oh, where can I get another bottle of foam cleanser? Like it was one of those day. And that hit me so hard. I'm like, oh my God, if I had my clients coming back to me like this for my real estate, I would have been a billionaire. I have to go after them a little bit, you know? But Atomy, people keep looking for me. They don't know where to get it. And those are the ones who actually care to call me. So I realized, hey, I should look into it. So what I do, I follow Atomy Canada to Korea. It was 11 days. I go there and with my notepad, I'm interviewing everybody. I'm like, there's something about this business. Long story short, I come back. It still took me about a year because I can't just quit out. I had to be responsible for a portion of my thing. And I was so cautious. Now I feel like I should have not taken that long. But it took me 9 months, and I decided to park my license to deal real estate sales, which I had for like 12, 13 years. And then I park it. And then 2 years later, 2019 January, I didn't extend it. I got it to expire. So full-time ever since, and people in between thought I was crazy, but nobody thinks I'm crazy now, right? And they all tell me back then, like, really? Why? Real estate is still lucrative. It is still lucrative. I know. It's a wonderful profession. I love it. Should have kept it just to deal with my stuff, but I'm like, yeah, no, can't do both. I'm going to do this. And that's what it was. The way the products felt on my skin, even if after I tried it the highs and lows, that kept me going to this point. You know, a lot of people tell me that I look like a type, oh, no problems in surrounding growing up, probably, you know, got spoon fed. And because I went to school in UK for a few years from Korea. No, my parents are very, very hardworking parents, just like any other parents. But my dad, and in a way, I hated it. He will have like implant to do, but he'll forego it. She's like, no, get the girls some piano classes. I'm like, I don't even want to play piano. And, you know, that's a pressure. So I don't share this in depth, but there's very big conviction for me to do this business. First is the product that worked for my skin, and even the neighbor lady who doesn't like me exactly tells me that I look better than 8 years ago. And some of you know that she blatantly told me that, yeah. I'm like, oh, thank you. You look a bit puffy before, but now it's tight. I'm like, I know. And she bought 4 sets and Absolute that day. And now she's getting into the hair and everything around. Products have to work in order for this to work out. Why? This, if you know the compensation plan, there's nothing. Even if everyone here, it was in my team, if nobody's buying for themselves, there's no money. You know this. You could have thousands of people in your lineage, but if there's no real consumers buying the products, loving the products, there's no money in my office. So you have to make sure. I had to make sure before I did the jump from real estate to this, that not just me, I'm picky. I'm very picky when it comes to things that's goes in my face. Clothes, I don't care so much because it's outside. It looks nice because I can just wear whatever. But what goes inside my body and on my skin, you have to be quite skeptical about things like that, right? Then, do you know that these products are actually attractive enough for mass public to come back for more and more? Is it worth for you to go and get them to educate them and coach them and help them and share the products, and they go back again and again? If not, you have to keep going out and hunt for another group of people, and you die recruiting. I would never want to do that. So when I felt, and few of my friends kept coming back for more, not knowing nothing about MLM, I still don't understand a lot of MLM. It doesn't matter. It's common sense. It's business. It's a store. That's my mouth is a storefront, right? Even better. So that got me I was so convinced that this product had to be in my business somewhere. And then I went back to learn business. And then I realized, yes, My dad and his implants. I should check if he got them now. I'm a bad daughter. They sacrificed so much to the point where I was so stressed about it. But it's okay. A lot of Asian kids go through that. They sacrifice a lot, so the kids feel like they need to do more. And I don't mind it. It's a healthy stress for me. And at some point, I realized I'm my age. I'm over 40, but I don't feel like I can stop. When I was 25, I knew it. 35, I knew it. I will never stop and trying to, not to prove, but I want to be at a place where I don't have to do this when I want to go see my parents. I always do this. If I don't go this time, I can save them money and take the children and get them all the skiing classes they want. It's expensive in Canada. Maybe I can take them to this abacus classes. Maybe I can just do some renovation in my home. I started to neglect my family in Korea because I don't see them. Maybe Mike Sujati knows more about me than my own sister now. Because my sister lives in Europe, my parents live in Korea. It's hard. And I left Korea when I was 15. That's bad. It's very bad. So now I realized that, you know what? My parents never used to complain about anything, but I know here hurts, there hurts. And my grandma is almost 90. I heard. And you know what? Just the other day, I haven't been there so long. I'm always so busy. And everybody understands that I'm busy. But just one day I woke up and my dad told me that my grandma just turned 87. I booked the flight to Korea. I didn't have to do a lot of this. That's the freedom that I want. I don't need a lot of money. I look bougie to you, right? I don't really know. Cars, I differentiate them by colors. Bags, I love to have good bags, but I lose a lot of things all the time. Money can only make me happy to a certain point. I know that it's very limited. But being able to go and say yes to people who needs me, who wants my time and my presence, and if I can buy gifts for them, so you can love. So balanced life, hit me after. Products, compensation plan, and all the business aspects of it. And when I learned a balanced life is a true success here, I went crazy. That's what I want. That's what I want. I don't want to work till I die, or I don't want to keep saying no to my parents or my friends because I'm busy, I don't have money. This is it. Once you are so convinced, then you look into how. So if you're not sure, you're new, you kind of like the people here and keep hanging out with them, learn about all this first, and then finally, I'm going to the practical of how we can do this. And if you're here last week, I'm sure you were, you heard Mike Sujati on 8 Steps to Success. That concept is not new, but the way he broke it down and our company really says it, it's a manual, right? So let's, if I can see my file. Okay, before I go there. So 8 Steps to Success. In the chat room again, what is the very first step of 8 steps in Atomy? Does anybody remember? What is the first step in Atomy, 8 Steps to Success? Goal. List up. Building a goal. Read a book. Yeah, there's a lot of dreams and goals. Yeah. And now I can see my chat room. I don't know what happened. All right, I'll check them after. Yeah, so setting a goal is the very first one. And like I spent most of my time here, it's what it is. You need to know why you're doing it, right? And number 2, what is number 2? Determination. First is the output. You know what you want. What you want out. Number 2, what are you going to put into it? Commitment. Yes, thank you. And number 3 is list up. Somebody said list up. And 8 core needs to happen after the first and the second and the third one is dealt with. So this is not for, this is not, can you see my file? Is it full screen, Mike?
Yeah, now it's full screen. You need to click the play, Essie. On the top there, play. Yeah, That's it. Now it's full screen.
Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, if you're not really sure, if you're brand new, it's okay. It's an immunization thing. And then you talk to your sponsor and then kind of come back to it. So I'm assuming that you already know why you want to do this, what you want out of it. And then input is how many hours, how much of your passion and your time are you going to put into this, right? And then you list up who are you going to share? Absolutely everybody. Those things has to be done. And type 1, if you know this guy on the right, the guy in the shiny, shiny suit. If you recognize this man, Togu Lee, the Imperial Master, type 1. Okay. All right. So last time I checked, so we have 8 Imperial Masters. Is it 8, 9? Oh my gosh. And this gentleman in his lineage has the highest sales in Atomy. So he's Imperial Master. He's special. He's a very special guy. So if you don't know about this gentleman, there's a lot of videos on. I learned his compensation plan through this thing, through his videos. So he said, a lot of people ask him, how did you make it so solid? So solid. His balance apparently is crazy. How do you manage? How did you make it? And he says one thing. I have a lot of teams, and the only thing determines the difference in performance, and which there is a significant gap in performance between the teams who does really extremely well and who does not, is the 8 cores. What is it? He said, I'm not special, but continuously, persistently recommended, encouraged, pushed this because it's all worth doing it. That's all. So what is it? This tool is the best one to check if you're on 8 steps to success route. So you all heard about it. If you haven't, check Mike's video from last week or go to our your company official YouTube channel or channel Atomy to check 8 steps of success by the founder, Mr. Park, Hangil Park. Because without that, you might be a little bit tough, but that's why I'm gonna have another slide to go through it. So 8 steps of success is a manual, and this is the tool to check if you're on track with it. It needs to happen every day, and it's used by successful teams apparently. And he says, how do you improve something if you cannot measure? That's true. How do you say, I'm going to lose weight, a lot of weight? But how do you know if you lost anything? Well, I guess you can look in the mirror, but it's hard, right? You need to be measurable and tangible. And I just said that first, you can create your step 1, 2, 3, and then consult with your sponsor. Sponsor doesn't mean your upline. Upline is somebody who just happens to be above you. A sponsor means somebody who's plugged into the company system fully, and at least 1 rank higher, okay? And then start. So these are just examples, but different teams will work their speed differently. So I'm not gonna bother too much on that part today anyways. So 8 steps of success: goal setting, determination, list up, invitation to what? Not just the center, invitation to our product, invitation to our compensation plan, company value, invitation to this opportunity, and show the plan. Show them what it is. And of course, follow up and follow through. And consult. Even if you're doing everything from 1 to 6, there's no consultation, you're an island. There's limitation as to where you can go. Connect with your sponsors. I learned this when I went for my Sharon Rose. That's when I learned that, oh my God, I was a bit arrogant because when I came back from Korea, within 9 months, I became a Diamond Master, helping a Diamond Master to happen at the same time. Like, hey, this is not that difficult, I thought. And then I stopped kind of talking to my sponsors. I can do this by myself. You know, everybody goes to that phase, I think. No, I did. And at some point, it occurred to me that when I tried to become a Shadows Master, I realized that, I would never make it to the next step alone. It's so true. You cannot. It's not amount of work and quality of work that needs to be done by one person. So I learned it humbles you that, I need to connect with everybody. The more you understand Atomy and the more you understand your compensation plan, I am at awe because it's designed so beautifully. So you have to be, I had to be less selfish. I had to be a little more humbled in order to work this thing out. There's a mutual respect though. As long as there's mutual respect and same goals, consultation is a great way to connect with your sponsor and keep it constructive. And duplication is the only way to make it big. So if your goal is to become a sales master, you're fine with it. You don't need to duplicate nothing, right? But they say that person could be, I excuse my strong language, but if your goal is to become an auto sales master, you're a very bad person. That's what Mr. Park said. That means if your goal is to only make $2,000, $3,000, what about your partners? If my sponsor's goal is only that, then my best shot is to make half of what she's making. $1,000, $1,500, right? So make sure your conviction is so strong that your goal and my goal should be the imperial master, even if you don't need $1 million. Why? Then you drive everything up, you try to duplicate as much as you can, and then your ambition will take your partners to become something, your partners to become crown master. And then from crown master, you push each other up. That's a different story, right? So duplication is when everything from 1 to 7 happens and you make it in a bigger scale. So this is our thing. And Mike went through it last week. And make sure you're dealt with number 1, 2, 3 before you go start acting on it. So this is the real deal. It's 8 core, right? And there's a video by Doug Lee. You should watch it. He does it obviously his own style, own thing. It's in English. People add a couple more these days because of COVID. Before COVID, our team added online and exercise. Exercise to survive, not to lose weight. Forget about losing weight or going on a diet, to survive. COVID, I was on Zoom 10 to 12 hours sometimes. I threw my back in. It was bad. So we learned that exercising is definitely necessary and online also. And I'm going to go one by one more in details. So this is what Peter Drucker, everybody knows, or he said. If you can't measure it, can't improve it, and unless commitment is made, there are only promises and hopes, but no plans, just like stars in the sky. They're not. It has to be promises, even if it doesn't happen, and my face value may decrease, but we got to put it out there. And hopes. And just promises and hopes are really just nothing. And we got to plan it. And this is it. Read 15 minutes. Just 1% of your day, basically. It's so hard to pick up a book, actually. But leaders are readers. And apparently this is very, very important. When you are a newbie, a new person, there's nobody in your group yet to influence. But imagine you're a team leader now, a group leader, or imperial master. What's in your language will be reflected by what you read. So apparently it's number 1. What you're reading now, of course, there's a lot of books out there, right? Zig Ziglar, see you at the top. I'm kind of going back to it, making notes now. I don't know. I could be on my phone and look at Facebook, but we got to do this. Just 1% your day. But 15 minutes is hard. But once you pick up a book, half an hour, an hour usually happens. So this is the first one. I think this will be the first one. VOD watching, at least 1 a day. Yeah, again, you'd rather watch something more fun on YouTube. I love this cooking show. I don't really know how to bake, but I like to look at people cook, people bake. And I'm allergic to cats, deadly, but I love looking at cats on YouTube. There's a lot of things to watch. But VOD from Atomy, channel Atomy, YouTube channels from official websites, by the way. It's like having your sponsor, your absolute sponsor, your role model right next to you. Because why? Because this is not something instant. It could be very fast. If you drive it fast, it can be done. But usually it can feel down because Mike is not always with you. Your sponsor might be busy that day, or maybe you got your order canceled, or maybe somebody nasty, just, major day, really bad because by having these remarks about doubts. But when it comes down to this, it's the self-doubt that'll kill you. Do you think I can make it? You ask yourself and you answer. If it's yes, if it's no, you're both right. Both times you're right. You don't need any leaders to tell you actually, but sometimes you feel so down, especially my first couple of years. I didn't bother looking at my office. I remember what Young Park said. Hey, I made $70 first month. And he worked 20 hours. And he calculated his rate, hourly rate, and he said it was a quarter, 25 cents. Right now in Canada, the minimum wage is like $14, $15 an hour. He said his wage was 25 cents, but he said if you have the employee mind, that's a little. But if you're a CEO, you've ran businesses, then it takes at least a year or two to break even. First of all, you broke even on your first month and you made $70. It's a complete success. You're a business person, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So that's why you need people like JYP, Mike, Drew Armstrong, Israel, and soon you'll have Jessica and Cher tell you that, yes, you are right. This Atomy works and we gotta get this going. We have to do it. We have to pick it up again. So when you feel down, invite your best sponsor, your mentor in Atomy by VOD. So make it a pattern. You have to get it. And especially at the beginning, it's so important. And there's less person-to-person meetings, right? And number 3, meeting. Duplication. Without duplication, you cannot go far. How many people can you really sign up? Let's say you have, I see Peter here. Peter, if you have 20,000 people came yesterday, they're like, yeah, we want to be members. How many people can you really help? Download the app and do this, click that. We need a system. We need a system. In order to have a system, duplication of continuous meeting is the fastest and the only way. And the worst part of it is actually not the actual, there's no hardship unless there's boredom. Yeah, Essie says same thing all the time, same thing, it's same stuff. Don't you hear it from some people? You really take notice of the people who make it through the boredom of this repetitiveness. They're the leaders. It's not easy to listen to the same thing. I can never watch the same movie twice. Even if it's the best movie, I kind of don't. I can't. But same 8 steps to success, same company introduction. Oh my God, hundreds of times, right? So meeting is not about you knowing things. It's about how large do you want your empire in this. So you have to be in there first, learn everything, and then you duplicate. Using products, I don't think it's so given. Yeah, not as a consumer, but as a serious investor. So imagine yourself, yeah, the shampoo's nice. You should try it. Or, oh, wow, like this shampoo cleansed my scalp like nothing else. My hair feels bouncy. Now it actually feels like hair. It used to be like paper. And there's 30 herbs, oriental herbs, and each deals with a different function. One of them make my grace, help with grace. Some of them will help with the scalp. Some of them actually work with the protein part of it. As a real investor, imagine yourself dropping $250,000 per item. So only $13 for the original shampoo here, right? But imagine if you are going to buy a SKU of 500 of them, $3,000. Then you'll be looking at the product a little bit more. So you can come up with those real points why you should try this shampoo, right? You should be able to articulate the key points, but it comes natural if you love it. It comes natural. And STP. So basically, every single item of this is the checklist thing, right? So STP means one-on-one. I'm not talking about sending out a mass message. You meet someone. I know it could be through Zoom, it could be one-on-one, it can be short, but you can accompany sponsor. This STP leads the other person to the bigger meetings. Exposure to the next meeting is the purpose of the coffee. Is not to get her to join. Meeting you today is so that you have another chance to expose yourself to this wonderful world of Atomy next week. So there's different perspective right there. And also, one-on-one meeting. Someone told me this. I think it's one of the Imperial Masters said that. No, is Pyonggu Lim. So he's a Crown Master. He said the success of your Atomy business is, and you can see it right away, is how many people. So right now you're in the Zoom, so you can't really talk, right? But right now, just think about it. You're in here. Your partner should be here. But imagine if you're having dinner, you have to eat. So you're having dinner, and you right then you think, how many people in my lineage is talking about products, company, compensation plan, vision, the culture right now? That's the side of your business. How many people are sharing Atomy right now? So STP in your group, and we start with ourselves. And number 6, consumer sales. Yeah, without PV, there's no money. PV drives volume, and consumer-based business. So at least if you're not meeting new people, and number 5, you're not working Atomy. I didn't know any better, but when I was a Diamond Master, a sales master, she became sales master. And it still hurts me a little bit to this day because she was a good friend of mine. And she said, it's not working. I'm not making any money. I'm a sales master. And I couldn't ask her. But now I'll probably wonder, how many people did you actually meet last week? And later I found out maybe one person in like 2 months. Can you believe it? Can you believe that a lot of us don't meet people? And they're kind of, well, I have like 5 people in my meeting. That's my downline. How come they're not doing enough? It's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm a Sharon's master. I could be a star master. I don't care if I'm an Imperial master. I'm still going to be meeting people, right? Creating new consumer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if you can make 1 a month continuously for like 2-3 years, I have no doubt you become an auto sales master. But it's just the amount of the store that's open, right? So 3 to 5 new consumer a month for 6 months is the goal. That's something we did in our team. Many people start this. How many people come through? It depends, right? And number 7 is consultation. We already said that. Speak to your sponsor every day about anything, but stay constructive and be mindful that they're also humans. And positive energy, building relationship. So the other day, I'm like, wow, I love this profession. I was out for lunch. I was out for brunch. I managed to eat lunch, and I had dinner, and I looked like just played all day. Beautiful Turkish breakfast. Wow, I ate amazing food. And I went for Chinese hot pot, and I went to my friend's house for dinner. Right? Friend/new member. So, but all day I came home and my throat was so dry and I couldn't talk the next day because I talked all day. But you know what? Do I talk about Atomy for 12 hours? Maybe 2, right? But building relation, not so that I can have Daphne in my lineage. Maybe I can have her. Maybe I can have Jessica to go for sales master. I'll go have lunch with her. Hey, your intentions are so see-through and transparent, right? You build relationships. And I base it on, even if Atomy sort of disappears next day, do you have friends that's like, you don't have to be friends. You don't have to have relationship with them. Like JYP said, you're not my boyfriend. You're not my girlfriend. But do you cherish that soul? Do you care for her? Do you care? Do you care that her hair is thinning? Do you care that she really needs another income stream? Right? There's a difference there. I'm not dating you, but I care about you. And you meet them, you share food with them, but you make it very clear that I'm here, and all three people orders products, and one of them wants to come and do something. It doesn't have to be today, right? You don't meet people for the sole purpose, only purpose, but it has to be very clear that I'm a distributor, Atomy, and everybody needs the products, everybody needs this business. I believe that people don't use our Atomy products because they don't know it, or they don't use it properly, or they don't do Atomy business because they don't understand it. That is my thing. I don't care if you have 3 jobs. I don't care if you're a millionaire. It's always out there, building relationship, positive energy, genuine energy, smiles, and kindness. And that is part of our A core. Wonderful, right? And online exercise is self-explanatory. So, health before wealth, absolutely true. So, I've got to start wrapping it up. Key idea for 10 core group. Success, 8 steps of success is the manual. I repeat, it has been the direction of auto sales master, auto DM. If you don't understand this part, it's another lecture, can be based on that. Ask your sponsor just more in details. Yeah, that's something just we did, just so that could be one of the options, so that you can have your group together. And honestly, maybe 30 people start and probably 2 or 3 people come through. Right? Now, I think it all depends on the first part of it. Maybe they're not convinced enough. Maybe they're not really sure yet. And you throw them into it, it's so meaningless, right? This is for people who will really give your best shot of your life, because it's one of the very few things I can actually say that it works. I never say that for anything. When I was a realtor, I will never guarantee anybody's work but mine. Everybody wants recommendation for contractors to do the renovation. They want lawyers, they want mortgage broker, they want everything. I can give you a number or 2, and that could be part of your 3 to 5 people to call. I learned that much. There's nothing absolute other than my faith. But just after that, if you look at it properly, because it's so simple, you work for me, so it should work for you, and there should be a lot of people buying this, and it's free to become a member, and you can get a cash back if you share with a lot of people. Why would it not work? But get that nailed first, and this is just a mere tool to help you to get organized and keep track. So don't do this just for the sake of doing it. People come to meeting for the sake of doing meeting, but the core thing is, do we have our stores open? Did you talk to anybody with that conviction? You have to try this dish detergent. You cannot use that one because it's why? And I can talk for 5 minutes about dish detergent. That's why I gift dish detergent to a lot of people when I go there for the first time. Rather than buying fruits, I sometimes get fruits. Right? Korean people always show up with something to visit people's houses, and dish detergent is my favorite. Hey, try it. You love it. And then I can sit down because I gifted them, you can wash your fruits and vegetables. These days, you don't know who sneezed on your fruits. It's disgusting. You can drop a little thing, and I show them how to wash their stuff. It's a perfect conversational piece. But at the bottom of it, I care for her family. I cannot let her use that chemical-driven stuff. This is a tool to keep track of doing all that stuff. Okay, so doing that and keep journals. I'm a paper person, so I like to write things down because I will forget everything. And the system. This is just our movement trying to make things happen more tangibly, but this should be done in a team setting. This is a very united thing so that not everybody will have to follow, but just make sure the backbone of it is that there's got to be a plan, but do it with your sponsors. And some type of goals has to be there. A lot of people, I've been called an army lady. I'm like, huh? because we have the systems, and no, it's totally optional. It's optional. I'm just suggesting it so that just in case you want more system in your work, in the journey of Atomy business, then you can use it. And the Imperial Master swears by it. I'm going to try it. And better yet, you do it from where you go, from where you are and where you want to be ending up at. Between that is called work. And this is a tool, like an app that you can click off and say, did that, did that, did that. And the speed is a key, right? Again, this depends on the team. So I'm not going to discuss too much on it, but it's so short that 100 days, 1 month, 3 months, it's the plane taking off. They use like 80% of their energy in the first 3 months. It's okay though. If you've been here 5 years, it's been kind of slow, but you kind of come back to it. It's been 3 years, you lost your bit of thing, but you're coming back. It doesn't matter. This is a self-employment in a system, and everyone is trying to help this way. So then it's up to you. You can adopt it. You don't have to, but at least you know. And I told you that there's something you can definitely use to organize yourself. And yeah, if you can change your mind, I did at a later age, right? That I can try this and I'm doing it, and you can change your life. So let's first answer, do you want to even change anything in your life? A lot of people are comfortable in Canada, but are you really sure? Well, your wealth, you have the health, and you don't have the heart in you that, well, I'm okay, right? That's fine. Then being consumers, we love you still. But if you have that thirst, like me, I still want to do more for my parents. I still want to do it for my children. I want to be there for my family and friends, which my friends probably didn't have any of me past 5 years because I was so into Atomy. I want to go back, and better yet, in the community. Now in our team, we have so many people. I always talk about them. I should ask them if it's okay. But when I met people like David, Teresa, Moses, and Layla, these people come here with different goals. Me, I just want to have a little more money to do a lot of things for myself. That's how I started. But some of our members have goals, dreams that are so beautiful that I'd love to be part of. And regular me could have never done it, but I know that I can help them if I do my job and try to be of assistance. So I'm going to stop sharing right now. And I think I went over the time a little bit. Okay. So that's it for my curriculum today. I hope that helped you in any sizes, but you can definitely go back to the VODs and you can look up Togu Lee, ask your sponsor, and the VOD, he does his thing there, and definitely watch it. So, but today though, I just wanted to introduce myself and love this, what Mike has going. And I really, really look forward to seeing all of you at the top, how it's designed to be, right? So fighting. Mike?
Thank you so much, Sharon Rose Master Essie. Let's give her a big round of applause. Show your love, heart, make a move, right? Dance. So it's amazing. I didn't know there are 10 core habits. I always thought like 8 core habits. So there you go.
Yeah,
we have additional two, right?
Twist, yeah. It's 8 actually by the company.
Yeah,
Just
so it's
add a couple more.
2 bonuses for all of us
Yeah,
tonight.
everybody.
So that's amazing. So we're gonna have a photo shoot. I'm sure there are a couple questions, Essie. You may want to answer after we have photo shoot. Let's open up
Okay.
our
Photo shoot first.
yeah, photo shoot first. Let's open up our camera and make the biggest smile, the nicest smile. Okay, in the count of 3, cheese, Atomy. That's 1. There are 5 pages. Okay, cheese. Okay, that's 3, Atomy. Okay, the 4th, Atomy, and last one, Atomy. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you again, Sharon Rose Master Essie Lee. I'm going to go with the first question. This is from. Well, if you can ask the question related to the topic, which is the 8 core habits. But anyway, this comes directly to me. How many customers do you need to have to become sales master?
How many customers?
Become sales master.
Okay, this question is practical question. So for the person who asked may already know that how many PVs you need, right? So in order to become a sales master or to main sales master, if you only look at your group PV is 2.5 mil and 2.5 million PV on both sides. Okay, so I have some heads going like this, some of them I don't know. So in Canada, what we say in my team is what we say this. It's kind of hard if you want to know exactly how many, because I could be using all 500 products, and maybe next door neighbor uses only 2. So if you know the PV 2.5, 2.5, think about it. This is a good question in a way. For example, if you have 100 consumers on each side, right? But they only use toothbrush and toothpaste. A lot of Korean members, they only stick to those 2 things. I don't know why. I don't know what's with them. Toothbrush and toothpaste, 1 box and 1 line. It's not even 10,000 points, right? Let's say it's 10,000 points. In Canada, it's like 5,000 for toothbrush and 3,250 for toothpaste. But let's just say it's 10,000. In order to make 2.5 million, how many of that users, consumers do you need? 250? Am I right, Jessica? My math is going. If you have people and they only use toothbrush and toothpaste, how many people will you need to make 2.5 million points?
The whole village.
The whole city. Yeah. Half
The
of
whole
Toronto.
country.
So 250? Right? So half of Toronto. So if you have to do that for both sides, you need 500 people, right? And once they buy it, they're not going to need it for another like 6 months. Or you have someone like me. Let's say I'm not in business, but I love the absolute set. I love the everything. So I got some comments here. This is all I use. I have some blemishes, but the Zoom has some filter, I think. I look beautiful there. And this, right? And these are not even available in Canada. I do everything in my power to get my hands on these products. Who does that unless you really love the products? So if you have people like me as a consumer, let's say I don't even know nothing about the business, I probably do. They did the research, but it's already like 3 years ago. They said one couple in Korea, they use the main products and they eat and drink and they use everything, easily 200,000 PV a month. But this is like 3 years ago. Right now they have AZ, AMO, they have like hundreds more products. I can probably say that even one person, if you take Hemohen, the pomegranate, the everything, if you take the main products and then it's just one person, easily 200,000 if it's a VIP consumer. So what I can tell you, and I did it all wrong. I joined so many people in the beginning of my business because, hey, I want to take over the world before someone else does. And after 1 year, what happens? The fall comes and the red leaves fall. After 1 year, they all expire because I didn't keep up with the consumer and I just keep joining them. And seriously, this is a real life situation. I'm looking at them like, what? Stephen Kim, who is this? I may have tried for weeks to join that Stephen Kim, right? I'm like, which one is this even? I cannot remember. That was my mistake. If you have handful, and now they say just 10 members and help them to become a VIP consumer. Oh, I wish someone just like grab me by my neck and say, listen, if I was at the beginning of Atomy, if someone told me, Essie, wake up, just focus on your first VIP consumer, second one, third one, and just help 10. I think I would have been like at least Royal Master by now. I made a huge mistake. So that question, I thought, why are we talking about it right now? But if you are doing it, and I know Jessica's here, there's Leaders Club members here all the time too. Or Royal Masters, sorry, but I'll speak for myself. If you focus, but in order to do that, it doesn't happen unless you're VVIP yourself. Because me, I don't remember anything. I cannot remember what I ate yesterday. So forget about ingredients. Forget about price. I still don't really remember the hair tonic price. I have to look it up. You know, like, it's the age. I don't know. I just don't have that talent. But I know what the hair tonic did for me. I've been losing so much hair. It's the hormone. It's so sad. As soon as I hit 40, like everything's happening, I'm like, I hate it. But hair tonic, now I have baby hair. And I'm so happy about this. Like it makes me smile in my sleep. And everybody knows in Canada, I have this. And if you're really close to me and we're Zooming, you always catch me doing it. You were in a Zoom, I'm spraying. And then you have to massage. A teacup and massage. We're crazy about the product. So if anybody comes my way, I may have to look up that price for the product, but I know exactly what it did for me. And you're really missing out. You're thinning hair like me, but you don't try this. I don't know what you're doing, right? So that type of conviction only comes so your friend will never become a VIP consumer unless you're VVVIP yourself. So work on that. It's easy. So you deal with yourself first. I had to budget myself. Now there's so many products. You have to budget yourself. So how many people do you need? If they're only using toothbrush and toothpaste, half of Toronto or 500 people. And then you starve for the next 6 months. So maybe you need like 30,000 people, right? Seriously, you need like half of Toronto. But you have handful, but real good consumers, you may even be an auto sales master. And they say, work on your first 10. And there's another saying that there's no true VVVIP consumer in Atomy. Do you know why? Because they become distributor. They don't stay as consumer. So that's my answer. It kind of came off a little bit, but it's a math.
Yeah, I hope that answer for Gloria. If I just want to add, usually I just reverse it. How many customer do you want? Just think of it. You want how many of you to duplicate? Let's say you use him or him, husband and wife. That's already 110,000, right? If you're using vitamin C, omega-3, spirulina, and so on, let's say 150,000. So you just duplicate yourself. How many of you as your customer? So that's why we have to use our products ourselves, and then we duplicate to our members, and then you just calculate how many of you in your lineage. Then you're gonna calculate and become sales master. So the next question is from Indonesia, Boaz. Essie, when is your goal to be in the Leaders Club, and what is your plan to achieve it?
See, this is a real life situation. So when COVID hit, even if we're actually in pandemic, we had to survive, right? And actually, there's a silver lining in this because we became very tighter. A lot of people left. I'm going to tell you the truth. A lot of people figured they had to do other stuff. They had to deal with life. But at least for a day and a half, my sales kind of abruptly dropped so sharply, I panicked. It was March 17th and 18th, and I had a new sales master trying for that period. And and I was going to be part of it for at least half of it. 18 of our appointments got canceled. We panicked. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to find another job. Go back to real estate. And after a day and a half, though, our sales started doing this. Why? People realize, oh my God, what if shipments of Hemohim gets interrupted from Korea? We're in big trouble. So people start buying up a couple more boxes here, there, a couple more bottles of shampoo because the auto consumers started to react. And we had new people coming in. She was a dentist running 3 practices. started Atomy business, because they realized that, oh, what you thought was actually absolute, it's not true anymore, right? We knew the future was coming at us. It was coming slowly, but it kind of just got fast forwarded. It's not a disaster. This was due to happen, AI and everything else, right? So my goal, and this is a true story. So my goal at the time, like, wow, I'm gonna make Leaders Club in the midst of this COVID. So my goal was actually this year. It was this year. Well, this year we still have 3 months, right? And this is the thing, my life scenario was going strong. And then listen to this. But come this year, I'm like, this should have been the case. But in order to become Leaders Club, you need a lot of sales masters. But in Canada, what's happening right now is that it's been slowing down a little bit, maybe temporarily, because people are now back to work. People are now shopping offline again. So I can see that. I see different teams having different dynamics. People who worked really hard during COVID to build that VIP consumership, not a change. There's no change. Maybe going up a little bit because they're new products, but people still kind of trying to do person to person. Before COVID, it was tough, right? But now it's even worse because people are now off doing their stuff. So it didn't happen this year. It should have been this year, but it's okay. What I'm telling you is an honest reflection of things. But do I give up and get sad? Of course, I'm a little bit disappointed, but it's not about that. I'm not sad, but I am a little bit discouraged for 1 minute because it didn't happen for my partner, right? I am not sad. I'm not discouraged, but then we look for another way. Hey, so COVID really helped us, and our business grew. But when the Corona lockdown finished, because Canada was in the lockdown for 1.5 years, when the lockdown finished early this year, it slowed down a little bit, but now we're thinking different. So I cannot make it very official here because Atomy Canada will kill me. But there are things that we're going to share. I'm going to share with you maybe hopefully next time. So stay tuned. Our next development, we evolve. So it's going to be next year, first half. But our goal is to have our partners to be auto DMs and auto sales masters. Then naturally it will happen. Did you know that if you help one partner on each side to be a very solid auto diamond master, then you're Leaders Club? That I didn't know either. Jessica, I know what you did. You helped a lot of people to bring in the income, and she makes it into Leaders Club. Love it. I love it when people say how many people they helped to become auto sales master, auto DM. That's everything about our compensation plan, right? So my goal is a Leaders Club, but you know what? If it doesn't happen because my one side became a lot bigger and they become crown master first, that's still my success, right? So my goal is next first half. And this is because I have to help some people left their job to become full-time end of last year. And I have to make this distributor to become auto DM so she can sustain everything. Oh, then I'm an automatic Leaders Club. So thank you for that reminder. So life scenario, everyone tells you that, so I'm a living example. Everyone, they love to tell you, and I wish I could be it, that I wrote it and it happened. It doesn't happen sometimes, but you know what? It's still true because I'm still going to write it until it happens, right? And Jessica probably knows, and Mark knows, that we don't want to take too long because speed is necessary in this business also. So even if you don't need that $100,000 $1 million, we do it for ourselves, what we set up from the beginning. So life scenario still goes on, and I will let you know. You will know about it when that happens for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Essie. So the next question from Indonesia, Harry. What is the most important favor for a sponsor could do to their member for you? Because we are living in a different country, culture, and financial situation, especially in our targeted market.
Did you say what task, favor?
What is the most important favor for a sponsor could do to their member for you?
Okay, well, I'm talking about it from a partner's perspective and what I wish I had from my sponsors, basically, right? But even if I'm a sponsor, there's always gonna be, even if I'm a parent, I always look at my parents and say, if you can do that for me, do that for you. So favor, I don't know if it's the right wording, but if I think about it that way, first thing is you feel that you're not doing this alone, right? Basically. But a lot of people translate that into PV and people. If you can do that, great. But especially at the beginning, it doesn't really help. Do you know, think about it this way. Hemohim is great. It's like godsend product, right? But it's not the best thing to give your 3-year-old, maybe even 5-year-old. You can give it to them if they're okay with it, especially these days. I give it to my children too. But specifically from the company, they said, because the children are building their own immune system. So if you spoon feed hemohim continuously too much, then this kid's body may not be so diligent in making the immune system yourself. So think about also a story. You love your baby, right? If you have one. So you carry that baby around until he's 14. Is he going to walk? Is he going to be able to walk at all? Right? But then again, a newborn baby, tough love, you trying to force that newborn baby to walk? Is that baby going to walk? No, right? I think it's like, it doesn't matter if you have children, if you don't. I think it could be very similar to parenting, right? You got to find a way, tough love between being tough love or being affectionate. So favors, in terms of PV, it's so temporary. It could be very toxic. It's toxic. Why? As soon as the PV is pulled out, and this is business means I can talk about it. As soon as something happens externally, anything can happen, that PV is pulled, you're in a mess. If there's no real consumer consuming in your lineage, that PV is like a ghost. Even the people, if that's not your member, you don't connect. And let's say you're going for Imperial Master and that person's not going to respond because I don't know you. I am Jessica's friend, right? What good is it? So that's why people PV should not be the first thing. It happens when it needs to happen and when you have to meet them in the middle somewhere. Anything like in life, you have to meet with your sponsor somewhere in the middle. So for me, we were so trained from the beginning that you don't ask for things, Korean sponsors, and we learned it that way. So we're very independent. But at the same time, what my sponsors have given me is like almost like I don't have my parents here, but they may not speak the language. Nobody speaks English in my lineage. So I had to learn as a sales master, and I had to like interpret everything. I still do for Atomy Canada, but right now there's a lot of people. But just the fact that they were making it, it comforted me. So my sponsor became a Leaders Club, and she became a Royal Leaders Club, and now she's in this Crown Leaders Club, showing me that it works. So as a sponsor, don't forget about the favors, forget about anything else. It's everybody individual business. I don't do it for my sponsor. I love them. But even if they quit, I'm not quitting. Are you? Right? So first thing is showing them that this works. That conviction as a sponsor. This Atomy works, so I'm going to make it. Who's with me? Right? That type of conviction is a first thing. Then that's what my sponsor showed me. They may not be practically help me. As soon as they don't have the language, and 95%, 98% of my lineage, they are non-Koreans. What are we going to do? Right? Can't even go for coffee. They come and they hug them. Let me just hug them. Well, that's nice. So first thing is, as a sponsor, you can do is you making it, showing them. And that's why it's not easy. It's scary, but I have to do it. Going into Leaders Club, we're doing it for sponsor. And if you, and treating them really like you care for them, I think that's big for me. I'm independent. I lived alone since I was 15, and I don't need a lot of babysitting. But then again, I need to feel loved. I still want to feel that, right? So it doesn't mean that we want to have this too deep of a personal relationship. But you know what? Love, you can have small side and a smaller side, right? What Mr. Park said, there's no big or small. But your love and your time could be limited, but your love and prayers are unlimited. So I think being genuinely caring about the heart, people can feel it. So making it yourself, I think that's the first thing. And being available. And the very one thing is that you have to be there, even if you don't speak the language, even if it could be 3 a.m. If your partner's in the system happens, you're the first one to be there. And that's what my sponsors did. I never miss. They're always there. I'm like, she's my mom's age. My mom would never last sitting through a seminar of like 12 hours. But she's always there. In her suit, she's dozing off. But she's always there. Nobody wants to work harder than your sponsor. So work at least 3 times more than your partner. They sense it. I think that's fine. I don't have to be a capable person. I'm not as capable as a lot of leaders here. But I think that's the only thing I can give to my partners is that, hey, I'm ready to work more than you. Tell me what I can do. Right? I don't speak Cantonese, but do you want me to do something in your meetings? I'll do it. You want me to do a demonstration? You want to do whatever? You want me to sweep the floors when you're at the center meeting? I'll do it. And I think they know that. Then hopefully they know that. I think that's what it is. And in the meantime, trying to go forward. Did I answer the question?
More than that. Okay, the next question. This is for Indonesia as well from Vidya. What is your biggest difficulty when doing the 8 cores and how do you finally enjoy doing it?
It's probably number 1. It's always going to be number 1. The rest, it became part of my life. So 8 core, some days I don't exercise, but I really try to do a lot of walking. So 8 cores, 8 steps, everything else is something I can do, right? With my body, get up and speak and do things. But number 1, so I had no problem inputting a lot of hours, sometimes putting my friends and family aside. Number 3, no problem. Number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No problems. But number 1 is always hard. Like I told you right now, a lot of people try to base their planning on their partners. When is she going to try for sales master? I'll build up on there. You can't do that, right? When there's fear, that's why I love Mr. Park, Hangil Park, and I love all the leaders who made it into Atomy because it was dark right in front of them. You don't know if you can make it. A lot of these people who made it, they're like bankrupts. And people who lived in like the Togu Lee, he's a famous person, 17 years of failure, almost got him admitted to mental hospital. Everyone signed off, apart from his wife. I can't remember the second person, but everyone signed off. Put this man in the mental hospital. He's crazy. MLM. When the son, now I think he's a Star Master, Taeung Lee. When his son came back from serving Korean Army, they do that for 2 years, mandatory. When he came back, he said, "Oh, no, don't go to the old house. Come here." He was in what do you call that? Mike? Oh, what do you call that house? The place that you grow strawberries.
Hut?
What house? What do you call it?
I'm not sure.
The
I don't know
plastic. Somebody help me. He got kicked out of his own house. So when the son came back,
House.
Greenhouse.
Like a vinyl house.
Yeah, the vinyl house.
Vinyl house.
And the son got the instruction to be somewhere, and it wasn't a house. It was a vinyl on the farm where you grow your strawberries, and they were sleeping there. They were so bankrupt and they're ruined. And then he picked up Atomy, right? It's crazy how people still see and they do it. Most of us are not living in a greenhouse, right? It's a blessing. If you have a roof over your shoulder, we can have a computer to do Zoom. You're not. in that situation. So why would it be so hard? So that guy had Mr. Park. So Mr. Park, when he was in Canada, he came to our center and he did his testimony. I cried so much. He said, my heart is like a tear box. I cry so much, but only inside. So I guess ties with your last question. You scared too, right? But all these leaders, the Imperial Masters said, we didn't know, we were bankrupt. We had no money. We only looked at Mr. Park and we walked forward, one step, two step. And in the meantime, as a leader, Mr. Park, he's scared. What if it doesn't work? He's ruining more lives. And he was sick. He was almost at his deathbed. He said, my heart is a tear box. It's full of tears that nobody saw because I was also afraid. But we had no choice but to go forward. Now he's saying he's looking at this $1 billion company within 10 years. I am nobody. My skin looks better, but I'm nobody. I'm scared too sometimes. I told my partners. But with this tool, with a founder like that, we can do it. Yeah, nothing worthwhile will be easy, and life happens. Nobody knows what I went through past 2-3 years. I can't believe what's happened to me, but I'm still here. And people tell me I look good. That's a success, right? If you can't see what kind of life, life happens to everybody. We all smile here, but things happen, right? Without control. But we're still here, and we have to make it, not for me, but the people who believed in you and who trusted that you can do more in life, or just for yourself. So amazing to know that we have a leader, Mr. Park, and naturally that's where we follow his faith too. I was already a Christian, but naturally people believed in his faith, and he is the leader he's a sponsor for all of us. So if you don't have a sponsor giving you PV, forget about them. We have Mr. Park. I have wonderful sponsors. I'm very lucky. And if you are here, you probably have a sponsor who guided you here, right? And honestly, it's not easy because number one, setting goal is hard because it doesn't happen all the time. And I'm ashamed sometimes. Hey, how do I have a face to go back to meeting and face my members? I told everyone that I'm going to be a Scrum Master and you're going to be doing this, doing that. But I still have to pluck the courage. We can still do this. And your attendance in your meetings go down because you might have lost a little bit of whatever. It doesn't matter. We have to do it. We got to do it. So number one is hard. Doing it might be easier, right? But setting your goals over and over until it happens, it's not easy, but that's half of our job, maybe 90%. And actually doing the action. So number one for me, it is hardest one. I don't know for you, but that could be the answer for that question.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Essie. So this one from Malaysia, Roland and always. Essie, if you can only do one core for today, which one would it be and why?
One core out of 8?
Just one core out of the
8. Do I have to speak from like a business side or personally? Personally, like I said, I enjoy building relationship, and Atomy is always there. And people, even the hardest place to do Atomy is my church. I go to a very big Korean church. And few Korean churches have notices, announcements, no MLM here. But people, they see my face from miles away because I always have this lipstick. I have to differentiate from all these Korean people. I am in beauty and health business. And people see me from long, long hallway. They run to me. Atomy, I need the toothpaste. I'm like, shh. Meet me at the parking lot. 10:45, everybody. And I open my trunk and there it goes until they not here in the parking lot. People know I am Atomy. Some people don't even know my name. It's okay. I'm Atomy. So building relationship is probably personally favorite because you hang out with people naturally, right? know it, but they know I'm Atomy, so Atomy follows. But what's most important for me is probably the third one, meeting. Some type of meeting has to happen every day. It could be a meeting like this, or it could be meeting someone. It could be meeting my neighbor. Contact with something or somebody has to happen every day for me. Otherwise, I feel like I didn't do enough. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So it's pretty tough when you're already doing it as a habit, like you are eating rice and then soup and vegetable. If you have to pick one, which one do you choose? It's very hard, right? Because you're already habit of doing it every day. I'm sure Essie has a problem having a hard time picking just one. Just question yourself, Roland, and always, why are you doing just one, right? Because we have 24 hours a day, and this doing the daily 8 core is not gonna take like half of your day, probably just an hour most of the time. Okay, next question. This is still related to Gloria Ho, who sent the first question. May I ask how you keep your mind on track during your journey to sales master? Because most of your hardest journey was to sales master before, during, and after. That was a question.
During journey to SM, before, during, and after. Maybe you're talking about the first time you become a sales master, or auto sales master. I guess doesn't matter. I guess what's most important thing is that SM is like the cream of crops. It's the most important journey. So a lot of people get withdrawn after they become a sales master. So after you become a sales master and you become auto sales master, a lot of people get discouraged. So get vaccinated with the fact that you will feel that, what? All this hard work, and now where's my $1,000 every 15 days? That type of self-doubt will kick in. What's most important thing to keep your mind is that you work towards auto sales master, then they say 90% of your journey of Atomy and infrastructure is built. So what's most important, again, is that this, cherish every moment of it. And it is hard because we've never done it, but this is bound to be hard, but it's worth it. So understanding the reward of becoming a sales master, because after they look at the $2,000 or $1,000, they realize, what just happened? And the next month, it doesn't happen because you basically just revved up everything for the month, right? So keep in mind that it's bound to be tough because we've never done something like this, but it's totally worth it. And you're right on the journey of becoming a royal master. So $2,000 for auto sales master, $20,000 for royal master. So it's 10 times. But they say the infrastructure you be making and the work you did to become an auto sales master is more than half the work. So before, understanding the reward, what needs to be done. During is keeping focus that you're building this infrastructure to become more than that. And after is that it's given that you will probably have no PV, but then if you have no PV, that means you stopped. So it's to keep challenging until you become the auto sales master. So basically we said this, it's not easy. Only a couple of people came through out of 20 people trying. This is reality. But you become sales master and try to maintain at least 3 times in the first year. It's hard. Only a few people will come through. That is just something that we did, and that's why people call me Army Lee. But some people come through. So once and in the same year. So it's hard. But do you want to be walking on that hard path for 3 to 5 years, or short and sweet? And speed will get your thing going. So it's not just me saying, Zig Ziglar said that. You experience small accomplishment, success in a short period of time, it becomes a habit.
250.
It's hard, but that is 90% of this work, they say, and it's true. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Essie. This is a question from YouTube. I don't know if you want to answer. This is similar like Ju Yong Park was asked during that World Success Show. Essie, may I know what is your current income? You may not want to answer. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. No, I'm between. So I'm a Sharon Rose master, if you didn't know, and none of the people. And Ju Yong Park made a very good comment. He said he's a millionaire, right? So I can probably say that I'm half millionaire if that answered. And once you become a leaders club, I think you become millionaire. So maybe a little bit more than half, just on the conservative side. So if you're auto DM, that's probably about like $5,000 to $6,000 in Canadian. I think US same thing. So usually my title is Sharon Rose, but I go back and forth in between, if that helps. But actually, it's like 9,000 Canadian, then you're already in the leaders club. So, yeah, I like how he answered the success show.
I hope that
He's more
answer.
than a millionaire. What are you talking about? But we don't want to be boastful, right?
Okay, that's the end of the question, and a lot of congratulations, a lot of good feedback. I will send it to you personally, Essie. Okay, we're down to the last session. Yeah, so tonight we already did the Daily 8 Core by Essie. And let's give another big round of applause for Sharon Rose Master Essie Lee for an amazing lecture tonight, everyone. I'm very privileged to have these all global leaders and sharing all from their hearts about these business topics. So Q&A is done, and I just want to recap. We've done the first one by Drew Armstrong with the company introduction. Then the second week, we have the Hearts of Tomians. That's a special lecture by Star Master Rebecca Wong. We've done the Marketing and Compensation Plan by Sharon Rose Master Kim. And we've done the 8 Steps to Success last week. And today, we've done the Daily 8 Course. We're going to have next week's. Don't miss it. Make sure if you have a new members, keep them registered, because without registration, you may not be entered. It will be by Sharon Rose Master Jessica Punyin from Malaysia. She will share about the auto sales master. And same time, same Zoom code, but the only thing that changes is the password. Make sure you get it from your upline, from your leaders, or from one of the global leaders that's one of the speakers. Ask for the password. Okay, so I'm going to unmute everyone for the company motto for the last time. Just shout it as loud as you can. Wake up your neighbor, wake up your parents or whoever's still already sleeping, okay? Company motto. Cherish the spirit, create the vision, follow the faith, serve in humility. Aja, aja, aja. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for attending the business class. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Good night. 3, 2, 1. Good night, everyone. Bye.
구독, 좋아요 눌러주세요.